There's a young lady out of Hartford, Connecticut. She went to the University of Hartford, and her name is Chanel Rowe. They call her Jazzy. Now, she was experiencing medical issues, and she didn't know why. She kept going to the doctor, and I want you to hear what's the reason of why she was experiencing medical issues and how the school was trying to cover up everything that happened to her.
So basically, where do you go? All right, I go to the University of Hartford. Okay, I go to the University of Hartford. It's in Connecticut. And I'm not from here. Okay. So basically, I moved in August 27th, right, this summer. And I was assigned a roommate by random. And basically, I moved out about 2 weeks ago. And I moved out because I felt like I was unwanted in my own room, right? But this is not even like the huge part. So I basically felt like I was unwanted in my own room, you know, like I was ignored. I acted like I was like a ghost in my own room, you know, like I was disrespected, and not like physically, but like if the person was to walk into the room and sees me doing work, like she'll turn off the light and just walk out, and just like a whole bunch of petty, disrespectful stuff. But me, I never said anything because I don't want to start any conflict. I'll easily like just turn on my personal light, you know what I'm saying? But basically, while I've been here, I've been getting sick. Not knowing why I've been getting sick. It started with throat pain, and I thought maybe because it's colder up here, I'm just probably catching a cold. You know what I'm saying? But usually when I catch a cold, it starts with my throat, and then I get the other, like the actual cold. I realized I didn't get the actual cold. You know what I'm saying? And the sore throat pain got worse, and it was just throat pain. And this was happening for about a month. So it got to the point where like 3.5 weeks in, it got to the point where I had extreme throat pain that I couldn't sleep, to the point where I couldn't speak. Like I would try to whisper and I could barely whisper. So I decided, let me go to the health clinic on campus because I can't let another day go by, you know what I'm saying? Because it's got so worse. So I went to the health clinic. They did 3 tests and they gave me antibiotics, but I got the antibiotics before I got the test back because they asked me if I want it first or do I want to wait. But I didn't want to go through another sleepless night with such extreme pain. So took the antibiotic. The 3 tests that they did came back negative, right? Still, nobody knows what's wrong with me. All they know is that there's some type of bad bacteria in my throat causing all this pain. So a couple of days go by and I decide I don't need to move out my room because I feel unwanted, this, that, and the third. This is not how roommates are supposed to be, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was a whole bunch of things going on. Mind you, I was really super nice with my roommate. Like, I shared my microwave, shared my fridge, fed her fish. She left every weekend, blah, 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 whatever. So I decided to go about go look information by myself to go move out. So I found a roommate real quick, and I was going to move out. So one night, I went in my room and I was taking little things one by one, just starting to move it into the new room. Out of nowhere, it's like I was existing for once since I moved in. My prior roommate asked me, "Oh, are you moving out?" She paused her movie and everything. I was like, "Yes." Like I just said a one-worded response, "Yes." So she made a face, said, "Okay," and then I seen her texting on her phone. I assumed that she was just telling all her friends that I was moving out. 5 minutes later, I go down the steps of my old building, about to walk out into my new building, when I'm approached by my old neighbor and 2 RAs. My old neighbor tells me, "Oh, Chanel, I sent you something on the phone. You need to look at it. It's super important." Me not knowing what's going on, my hands full, I couldn't look at my phone. So she shows me on her phone herself. Apparently, this girl posted on her Instagram that something, like, I wasn't friends with her on Instagram. So other people on campus are seeing all this stuff that she's publicly posting, okay? So she posted what she's been doing ever since I moved in. And now I'm going to read you exactly, like, here's the paragraph. The only stuff I have is what was sent to me. I don't have everything she's been posting, or, you know, all the videos that she posted of me, because she would post videos of me eating, saying, oh, if only she knew where her utensils been, or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to read you what I was sent, what she posted 5 minutes before I left my room when I told her I was moving out. So here's a screenshot. It's a paragraph, and I'm going to read it to you. Finally did it. Your girl got rid of her roommate. After 1.5 months of spitting in her coconut oil, putting moldy clam dip in her lotions, rubbing used tampons on her backpack, putting her toothbrush places where the sun doesn't shine, and so much more, I can finally say goodbye to Jamaican Barbie. So this is the paragraph, right? She posts that on her Instagram. Then she starts posting pictures of what she's been doing to me, right? So she posts pictures of my Steve Madden backpack. I don't know if you can see the little spots, but it's tampon blood stains, right? Tampon blood stains, okay? So she has her period blood stains on my bag. I don't have the bag on me because public safety removed it because they said it was a health hazard and the fact that I've been sleeping next to this thing. I usually keep my bag open right on my bed, right? See this little wooden post thing in the corner of my bed? I usually keep it hooked and then have the flap open. So the flap opens on my sheets. And I always sleep towards the bag flap where the blood is, right? I've been sleeping there for months, and the bag's been hanging there, and I wasn't using it because I have multiple bags, you know what I'm saying? So I use different bags, and that one's just been sitting there with blood on it. Me not knowing, right? Sleeping there, taking in all the nonsense. But you know, that's just my backpack. Like, if you really go in depth. Now, here's another picture that she posted, okay? This is something that was in my fridge. Of my fridge that I shared with this girl that I didn't know she had this type of shit in it. I'm just thinking, you know, I'm sharing the fridge with her, you know. I bought the fridge, I bought the microwave, I'm sharing my stuff with her, and I don't have a problem with it, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's just food. Sis posts a picture and says, like, this is moldy clam dip that I've been mixing in with her face lotions. Then she takes pictures of my mail and posts it wherever, talking shit. My thing is, I keep looking at this paragraph, right? Because the paragraph says so much stuff she done, and at the same time, she says she's done so much more. I don't know the so much more. I've been using my toothbrush for how long? She says she puts my toothbrush places the sun doesn't shine. What else? The fact that I have blood where I sleep and I didn't know. I've been using my coconut oil. Coconut oil is expensive, you know. The organic virgin coconut oils, that's what I use, right? And I don't go to no health beauty supply store. I go to what's it called, organic stores or wholesale food stores or Trader Joe's to buy them. Them things are expensive, right? She's over here putting moldy clam dip in her spit and saliva and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I have a video the day after I discovered this and like had to get public safety involved and the police and file reports and things like that. In the process of me moving out my things, I'm discovering new things. Like, I took a video of my coconut oil, right? I'm gonna show you the video. It was so hard to open the coconut oil, and it smelled so bad. Let me find it. But my thing is, the following day after I moved all my things out, right? That night I had to sign. I was up until like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. moving things out and things like that by myself into my neighbor's room, because I had to sleep in my neighbor's room before I moved into my actual new room, because I didn't know all this stuff was gonna happen. I had to fill out a no contact agreement, which is basically kind of like a restraining order, but campus wise, just no contact. Like me and her can't have any contact with this, that, any of that. So the following day, after I moved all my stuff into my new room, and the people who are in charge of the residential life on campus come to me to collect my old room key, right? They come to me, knock on the door, I give them the old room key, I sign it out, and it's this lady and then there's this man. And instead of taking the old room key, signing it out, and going about their business, they say, oh, I just want to reassure you about the no contact agreement. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I already know, because when I signed the no contact agreement, it's like 4 bullets. And the lady who I signed it with, I made sure I questioned every single one of them bullets so I don't, go against it. And they're telling me, oh, well, just to let you know, the situation is over, so don't speak about it or else you can be removed from the residential side of campus. Basically saying I can't live on campus. Like that will happen if I speak about the situation and saying the situation's over. How's the situation over? The situation just started. This don't make no type of sense, right? Plus, the no contact agreement, I went with a meeting with the same lady who I signed the no contact agreement with today, right? This chick said she was confused. She basically said that my no contact agreement had nothing to do with the situation. It's just I can't come in contact physically with the old roommate, vice versa. She can't have my phone number or social media or anything like that. There's just no contact. That has nothing to do with me speaking on the situation or the situation being over. The situation isn't over. Nothing's happening, right? And then at the same time, nothing can be done, right? I can't get anything done, like, to progress in the whole situation, because you have to wait for public safety to finish the investigation in order for this to go, up. You know what I'm saying? So, things can actually start happening.
Now, that's one of the nastiest stories I've ever heard in my life. I mean, what would possess a normal human being to do that? Obviously, she's not a normal human being, the female that did this. It sounds like something that you would do if you were a straight up Neanderthal in a cave. Now, if you were putting someone's toothbrush in your anus where there's fecal matter, come on. So putting that in your throat is a lot of bacteria. What comes out of your anus is poison. That's what your body says is not good to be inside of me, so it needs to come out through that way. And she kept doing this to her toothbrush, and you heard all the bacteria that she had in her throat. She's lucky that she didn't have something major happen to her. I mean, just that alone is horrible. Then you move along to her messing with her coconut oil, messing with her face creams. And then to add insult to injury, when she's on her menstrual cycle, she's going to take out a tampon and put period blood on this girl's stuff. I mean, just sick and demented. And then you're going to snitch on yourself on social media. We know one thing about the millennials that I think is funny. They do things and they tell on themselves. They love to tell on themselves when they commit crimes, when they do things to people. They just snitch on themselves every day. That's why it makes it so easy for the police to do their job. All they got to do is follow your social media pages. But keep doing what y'all doing. It makes it easy for everybody to investigate what's going on. Now, this girl who did this, her name was Brianna Brochu. She is 18 years old. Now, when I saw that she was 18 years old, I said, my God, she looked like she's 30. Maybe that's part of the reason why she didn't like her. I mean, she looking at herself in the mirror and look at that sister, and she's like a teenager still in high school. Because I've seen it many times growing up with Caucasian females and black women. There's always something going on. Don't let brothers come into the mix when they are looking at the black woman at a job. They get all jealous minded, and not just black women. I've seen them get jealous minded of Hispanic women or Asian women, or anybody outside of them getting attention. I know that women in general can be catty sometimes, but it's just for them. And I'm not saying all before you come up with that, but I'm saying I've seen that a lot just in my time growing up. Now, This female herself was on a scholarship, the $20,000 a year scholarship for 4 years. All you had to do was go to school. That's it. And you screwed that up. And you got criminal charges put on you. And for what? For what? Because you want to be a nasty Neanderthal, obviously. And you're going to face jail time for it. Now, she was charged with a breach of peace of the 2nd degree, criminal mischief of the 3rd degree, both misdemeanors. Now, those charges carry a maximum sentence up to 6 months. She went to court today, and her case is moving from the community court to the superior court, where they say more serious cases are typically heard. Now, she bonded out of jail for $1,000, but she was banned from the university, and she was ordered by the court to have no contact with the victim. Now, in addition to that, the West Hartford police stated that an additional charge they're trying to put on her of 2nd degree intimidation based on bigotry or bias, a felony that carries a sentence between 1 and 5 years in prison. So the police even found out that a lot of this was racially motivated. That's why they wanted to put that charge on her. So you're allowing your racism now to have you facing charges or to put you in prison. So you go one day from having a 4-year scholarship, $20,000 a year, to now you're going to be a jailbird. How many times have racism cost people who love to be racist their livelihood or their freedom? Is racism that important to you? My God. And if you don't want to bunk with a black person, well, go find a school that's mostly you. Say something so nobody won't bunk with you. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's stupid at this point. But there's also an article that came out that said that HBCUs are seeing a mass influx of people starting to come in. Well, stories like this is why. Because instead of asking the University of Hartford to protect you and give you some sort of safe space where you can be fine, you just go ahead and go to the HBCU and you don't have to worry about that issue. Now, the school was trying to cover it up. And the thing is, I'm glad she went to Facebook to tell her story. Now, some of you write me and tell me your story and say, oh, could you tell my story? I can't tell everybody's story, but you can tell your story. And like this young lady, she don't have a big following on YouTube or even a big following on her page. She have a YouTube page. I saw 20 subscribers on it. But yet, look, everybody is talking about her story. Go to social media, use that power. You don't need to ask NBC to broadcast your story or CBS or whoever. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to broadcast your story. But you broadcast your own story. The mainstream media follows social media now. We don't follow them anymore. And that's why they're always trying to figure out a way to disrupt that or trying to take the reins back. That's why they wanted to attack YouTube and attack content creators so they can take the reins back. But now the ball's in your court. Tell your story. Now, I did reach out to the young sister, possibly she would want to come and do an interview. We'll see if she want to come or not. But if she don't, that's fine. I'm just glad she got her story out. I hope she do great in school. And maybe, young sister, if you see this video, consider going to a HBCU after this and that you got a great scholarship from this school. Just consider it. Because if they would have did that to me, the administration trying to threaten me, that they're going to kick me out of my housing, basically, to cover something up that nasty Neanderthal did to me, no, I will be gone as quick as I can be gone. So it's not good for her to be there, regardless. This is how I feel about that, because the people at the school did not care about her. They just worried about covering up for that nasty ninja. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video on your social media pages. Like the video, and also subscribe, and make sure you click the bell to find out when we post our new commentaries and news stories.